Good morning, the Chairman, Board of Trustees, the pastor, parents, friends, and the most important people here today, the teenagers. A quick round of applause for the teenagers in the room, please. This speech has been designed for the teenagers in this room, and so some of the words I will use in my speech today will be particular to our generation. So I'm sorry if some of you don't understand or relate to them. I have titled my speech for today, Dare to be Different. This topic on being different is something that most youth of our generation face as being difficult because as of today, the 14th of May 2017, being different in a world where everyone is the same can be quite challenging. Who am I? This is a question that haunts all of us at some point, especially when the people around us are trying to constantly answer this question for us. How do we remain true to ourselves in a world that is constantly trying to make us something else? Being different means not being afraid to challenge the norm, being willing to take a chance, asking why, making your own track, not just following the well-established path, charting your own course and destiny, being the person you were meant to be. But it is not easy. When you swim in a river, it is very easy to swim with the current. But it is not easy to swim against the current. It takes a special effort and will if you really have to swim against the current. The same goes here. It is very easy to go along with what everybody does and do what everybody's doing. It is not easy to do things that nobody does not do. It is difficult. It is difficult to be different. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Nobody wants to be different. We want people to like us, and one of the safest ways to do that is to blend in, to be like them. But following Christ has never been about blending in. There are 100 million other social rules that you must follow. Most of us live our lives trying to rigidly conform to a nearly impossible standard. It's like there's a voice in everyone's head screaming, if you aren't going with the crowd, that there's something wrong with you. But let me ask you a simple question. Why do you care? Really, take a moment and reflect on this. Why do you concern yourself with what others think about you? You are a unique, gifted, and special individual. That is a fact. Now let that be your starting point and your living point. We all pretend that we are so alike. We feel that we have to like what our friends like and do what they do. But I don't agree with that. To be accepted by our peers, we don't have to be copycats. And personally, I believe if you feel the need to change to be accepted by your friends, then they weren't your friends to begin with. We are individuals with different values, appearances, heritage, tastes, talents, personalities, etc. It's actually interesting that we are different. If not, the world would be really boring. God knew what he was doing when he made you. It's time we dare to accept ourselves as different and stop being insecure about who we are. People pleasers allow others to control their lives in order to gain acceptance and approval. But God doesn't want us to be easily manipulated or controlled by others. We shouldn't let other people's opinion of us control our actions. I don't know about you, but one of the things I'm afraid of most in life is mediocrity. For me, life is too precious to be lived in mediocrity. Life is a golden opportunity, and we should use it as well as we can. Living in mediocrity means we do not use this opportunity as well as we should. Unfortunately, many people are trapped in mediocrity. I believe one of the main reasons is that they do not dare to be different. You need to be different if you want to be above average. But the problem is, we live in a generation where mediocrity is worshipped and individuality is not. We live in a world where people love you and appreciate you for not being who you are, and those who try to stay true to themselves are mocked. I urge you not to think about being different as being weird or a fag. I urge you to think about it as you being brave, because you're being brave in a world where everyone is afraid or too chicken to be him or herself. Remember this simple reality. If you do what 95% of the world is doing, then you will end up where 95% of the world is going to end up. The way to change the world, or at least your world, is to dare to be different. When you dare to be different, you step out of the mold and you make space for your creative twist. When you dare to be different, sometimes you stand alone, but alone is where your unique creative contribution can thrive. It's what leaders, great artists, and inspiring minds do. They take us beyond the edges of conformity to pave brave new frontiers. So every teenager in this room, take off that invincible mask that you're wearing that is hiding the true you and throw it away. Burn it if you want, but never ever put it on again. Lift your head up high and put on your biggest smile, because guess what? You just won. You just beat them at the game of life by accepting who you are and being different. So congratulations, game over. I like to finish my speech with a quote by Oscar Wilde, and he said, "Why be a copy when you were born original?" I dare to be me, and I hope you dare to be you. Thank you for listening.